That's not a roar. This is a roar. Greetings and salutations, my name is Ignis and today I played Once Human with one of my friends, Lemmy. For those who don't know, Once Human is an immersive survival sandbox game set in a post-apocalyptic world overrun by mysterious creatures. Players must gather resources, build shelters, and craft weapons to survive, not only against the environment, but the other hostile beings. It's a unique blend of strategy, exploration, and most importantly, fishing. If you enjoy the content, please leave a like. If this isn't the first video of mine you've seen, consider subscribing for more. And with that, I hope you enjoyed today's video. We start this journey off with some exposition, where the game just describes the real world and how everything is born from darkness.
Even the universe itself.
But before we endure the eternal torment that is the living world, character customization. And of course, you only have 3 options. Option 1 is you make a guy you'd say smash to. Option 2, you make a girl you'd say smash to. And finally, option 3, you make an abomination that shouldn't walk the face of any planet. So that is exactly what I did. Or at least tried to do. And then I named him accordingly, Ignis, the clown. After creation, we are greeted with the most beautiful portrait of ourselves. Now that is something I would like to hang in my house. And get reminded of a truth I really didn't need to be reminded of. But whenever I'm involved, you can guarantee that some nonsense will be had. So in true fashion of yours truly, we watched the scientist that reminded us of our brain activity, what involuntary yoga looks like. We awaken at last to everything floating about us. Groggy and disorientated in the cold metallic room, we see that we've been impaled. Now that doesn't belong there, so let's just take it out. Falling to the ground and grabbing the nearest syringe of an unknown substance and injecting that into ourselves seems to have done the trick. I will be sure to do that more often. As we rise from the ground, I am again reminded of my terrible choices in giving Ignis extra cushioning.
That is so funny.
Reading the files left behind, we learned just about nothing, beyond the fact that the knife that was stuck inside us has its origins clearly tied to rift space, and that the security of the Rosetta research facility is top-notch, and no matter how hard we tried, we would never be able to escape. That is, unless we read this memo that says the exact code to escape this room in blank text. Leaving the confines of this small room, we are faced with the world's second worst catastrophe. A second me. After absorbing the soul and memories of the original, we are one. We are now stronger. And bonus, we have a new snazzy looking backpack. But before we can call upon the living bark and explore the great lands with a friend named after an item of clothing, we are stopped by a bird called V.
Well, it's good to see another face. I thought I was on my own, and you're a metahuman too. I don't know who you are, but I know what you are. You awakened the cradle. And that's something only a metahuman could do.
The fluctuation that released us from our beauty nub trapped V inside the cradle and robbed us of our memories, apparently. With that, our interests align in wanting to leave this godforsaken place, but there is one issue. V, you're a talking bird.
True. I used to be like you once. A metahuman. But it's a long story, and now is not the time.
Okay, I hear you, but hear me out, right? You're a talking bird.
True. I used to be like you once. A metahuman. But it's a long story, and now is not the time.
No, don't worry. We have time. I'm the main character. More importantly, you're a talking bird.
True. I used to be like you once. A metahuman. But it's a long story, and now is not the time.
After repeating this process 20 more times, we continue onwards, stealing company property and taking out a man who was just practicing his chica dance, and 2 others that weren't minding their business enough. I also came across a unique piece of information that my friend Lemmy pointed out.
Now think about it this way. If you have a document detailing that something should be reported to a certain specific person, why would you cancel out the name? That's like super stupid.
It's like, yeah, it's actually, it's like any personnel who violate this confidentiality are subject to termination. You just gotta figure out who to report it to. And in asking who you have to report it to, you too will be subject to termination. And also everyone you interact with that isn't part of it. We continue forwards, coming across an afterimage of a younger female test subject wearing the same lab clothing as us. Approaching it, we are pulled into a strange world where we get to see her memories. We of course ignore most of it and ask the residents of this place to kindly leave before realizing I should have checked with any of them if they had a great ball. It would have made this catching process far easier. But thankfully, luck is on our side and we could use a normal Pokeball to get it. Seeing the afterimage of the goal again, we reach out to see where else it would take us. But instead we enter one of the worst trips ever. Before waking up in the middle of a field in front of someone's house. Machete at the ready, we charge into the house preparing a takeover. But instead, we are sadly greeted by Mitsuko and V. So we do the next best thing and rummage through diary entries from a man called Victor Hammett. He notes the successful containment functions of the cradle that's on our back. How the guerrilla tactics they've been using as the Mayflies are working, but nowhere near enough to combat Rosetta and their plans. And lastly, a report on Rosetta developing a new Silvergate technology to reopen the monoliths on the island. Now that we have successfully invaded the privacy of the house residents, we can confront them. They introduce themselves as ex-metahumans who were in the same situation as us being experimented on. The only difference is that Mitsuko can detect even the smallest of fluctuations in stardust. Now, what is stardust? What is the starfall? And why is V still a talking bird? Well, to answer those, stardust is the happy white powder that mutated people who didn't handle it correctly or were exposed to it, like the residents we evicted earlier. Starfall was an event that allowed beings called the Great Ones to slip through rift space and invade our own physical world. And we still don't know why V is a talking bird. But sadly, our conversation is cut short by a seemingly spine-chilling roar. That's not a roar. This is a roar. Apologies. Let's try this again. Now, having shown our clear dominance over whatever attempted a roar like that, we gear up, borrowing more of their personal belongings and never planning on returning them. We craft ourselves a crossbow and some arrows, prepared and ready to fight. But first, nap time. Now that nap time is over, we call upon the siren. With the power of the butterfly and arrows, the siren was an easy opponent that didn't give much of a fight. Granted, yes, the auto-turrets taking care of the ads did help. After defeating the siren, we head back to Mitsuko to tell her the news and for her to respond in kind. saying that we should return to the physical world. Wait, the physical world? Thanks to the existence of V, we were able to fall slowly and safely with no screaming needed. But there is only one V, so Lemmy had to fall.
Oh no, wait, you're
Oh,
directly
hi,
next.
how's it going?
Oh, oh.
Press
No,
spacebar,
wait,
press spacebar,
oh.
press spacebar,
I'm pressing spacebar.
Now that the two of us have been united at last, it is time for the real game to begin. From here, we needed to set off to find a place to call home. And it did not take long for us to find it. Love Island. Now, as much as I would love to build the manor of a lifetime upon Love Island, the only thing that I needed were mimetic points. These were used to unlock the rest of the building options and schematics. So, with the base points set, we turned right back around and returned to the mainland. Now that we were together, we stormed multiple sites and locations, tearing through all of them like they were butter. Actually, they were even less than that. As we continued our exploration, we arrived at one of the many monoliths and met a new face, Mary.
Hands off my stuff. You're pretty cocky for someone who doesn't even have a weapon. Quite impressive, to be honest. Hold on. Is that a cradle on your back? Are you a mayfly?
A little aggressive of an introduction, but a rather quick change of tone and attitude when she saw the cradle on our back. She herself used to be a mayfly and thought to be the last one at that. She proposes that we work together to investigate one of the deviations near the monolith. But for now, she sends us back home to craft a new weapon and some better armor. By the time Lemmy and I returned home and completed the request for Mary, we saw that she had activated the teleporter at Deadsville for us. But before that, there seems to have appeared a large pink sphere near our base on Love Island, with mist floating about at the bottom. Approaching it with very little ammo, we see that this is a challenge event. Luckily, we were given a massive heavy machine gun called the Shadow Gatling Gun, and our mission was to eliminate only one enemy? With that little distraction out the way, we make our way to Deadsville, where we are welcomed to a safe zone. There are a couple faces for us to meet here. Weber, a merchant selling food and weapon accessories. Larry, who gives out commissions. Some are very simple and with rather easy rewards, while others require a little bit more work to get done. Severin, a merchant who deals in a unique currency for Starcrom and higher grade weapon accessories. And my main man, Lo, who wants to know anything and everything about deviants and how to better use them for our betterment or entertainment. And lastly, Claire. Speaking to Claire, she gives us some information about a powerful deviation at the Rotten Manor that needs to be rid of. Well, if it's anything like the creatures we've encountered thus far, it'll be an easy walk in the park. Despite the countless warnings we heard, it was actually an easy fight. We returned victorious, and with that, we have proven our worth and strength in battle. Finally, with that, Mary directed us to the monolith we initially met at, the Monolith of Greed. Repairs, ammo crafting, and mental preparation, we dove headfirst into the Rift Gate.
Help me! Shouldn't have tried to take what was yours.
Forgive us. Forgive us. You are truly a great one.
Mercy, please!
Even without their submission. We are still Legion!
With the Ravenous Hunter before us, we fought tooth and nail, ducking, weaving, dancing, and crawling our way through the battlefield. It was intense, and it was fun. But just like every other creature on this corrupted land, they can be dealt with as long as you have enough bullets. Now what could await us in the other monoliths? They couldn't be that much harder. We rule these lands. We are unstoppable. But that is for another time, another story, another adventure. As the season comes to an end, we prepare for the next challenges that await us, ready to face whatever the future may hold. But with that, I want to thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.